Today I fucked up by selling my car seat sofa without asking if the person who owned the car needed them back. I love upcycling, so when my friend swapped his new car's front seats for bucket seats, I asked if I could turn the old front seats into a sofa. He was totally on board with that, so I turned them into a sofa. I took extra care not to damage the seats as I knew he would need them back when it came time to sell the car. Time passes and eventually my GF and I decide to move in together. We need to sell off most of our furniture as a new place was fully furnished. Everything had to go either by selling or by donating to charity, like the bed, the table and chairs, the sofa that your friend is going to need one day to sell his car. Oh, bang on cue. A day after I sold the sofa for a pretty penny, my friend rings me asking for his seats back as he's bought a new car and needs to sell the old one so he can recoup some of his money. I literally said down the phone, I've just F/K up big time. So I had to go about tracking down the guy I sold the sofa to and beg him take his money back in exchange for the sofa. As luck would have it, the buyer had misjudged his GF's taste in furniture and she absolutely hated it, so when I rang him up and explained my mistake, he was so glad because he'd just been chewed out by his GF for buying it. He needed to get rid of it, so he was happy to get a refund in exchange for the sofa. I dismantled it, my friend fitted the seats back into his car and sold it within a week. Too long didn't read, made a sofa out of friend's car seats, sold them instead of giving them back to my friend, but was lucky enough to get them back from the buyer who had his own "today I fucked up" moment as his GF hated the sofa. Nice, at least it didn't cause any actual issues. Glad it all worked out. So what did he do with the bucket seats? Turned them into a sofa, of course. I'm confused. Did the sofa belong to you or to your friend? The car seats belonged to their friend gave them the seats which turned into a sofa. What I'm confused about is why the friend needed the seats back if they were already replaced. I want to see this. I legitimately can't imagine what this looks like. Unfortunately, the laptop I had the photos of it on is long gone. I should have specified that I made the sofa in 2013 and dismantled it so my friend could put the seats back into his car in 2016. I'll ask around as someone may have some photos of it on a flash drive or an old hard drive. My inspiration was actually from Top Gear when Jeremy turned his Porsche 928 into a set of furniture. Super weird story. Your friend sounds worrisome, smiley face. AMD, why would anyone want regular seats in their new car instead of bucket seats? He'd already sold the bucket seats, so he needed the stock seats back in order to sell the car, although he later told me he probably could have sold it as spares to someone who was trying to keep their own car on the road for as long as possible. Today I fucked up by electronically checking out of a Hampton Inn while I was half asleep. Whenever I travel, I usually stay in Hilton brand hotels, and their app has an option to check-in/check out online. It sometimes gives you a notification to inform you of the online checkout option. The notification came through somewhere around 5 AM, and I grabbed the phone, then tried to set it back down on the nightstand and accidentally opened the app. After messing with it for a few seconds, I got it closed and shut the phone off. I probably fell back asleep a few minutes later. Next thing I know, I'm awake, but I don't know what woke me up. I heard something moving around near the door, and then all the lights came on and I said, "What the hell?" The maintenance guy came around the corner as I was saying that and screamed while dropping cleaning supplies and spilling chemicals everywhere. I was simultaneously screaming as I had no idea why this guy was in here. After we both calmed down and figured out what happened, we had a good laugh and the hotel added 20,000 rewards points to my account as compensation for scaring the shit out of me. Moral of the story, make sure you always have the security latch set on the door before going to sleep. Too long didn't read. I accidentally checked out of my hotel room while half asleep and woke up to somebody in there. I don't know, this today I fucked up seems like a win. Sure, you got scared, you got free points. Also, I do suggest if the app has a feedback link or something to send feedback, that the notification should be quite or not happen at 5 AM but at a more respectful time like 7 AM or later. Maybe have an option to choose a reminder time. Moral of the story is you should check out early more often to score all those sweet bonus points. Lol, this sounds like it belongs in a comedy. Thank you for this. The first thing to make me really laugh in a while. I thought somebody might get a kick out of it, lol. Lol, yeah, I always do all the locks in hotels. I'm scared of being murdered in a hotel so bad. Probably because with electronic keys it's easy to get copies and you are not in charge of who has access to them. I went to a hotel once where I was given a key and room number, but it already had suitcases in. Went back to let the front desk know and was given an apology and a correct key and room. Today I fucked up when I took a promotion from strip club bouncer to general manager. Obligatory, this happened 10 years ago now. I was working a generic retail job and my ex at the time worked for 7-Eleven. A regular customer of hers owned a strip club off Interstate 35 in Texas and he was hiring a bouncer. The money was good and the work was really easy. The vast majority of my night was sitting down looking at half-naked women with the occasional job of removing an unruly customer or so. With such a positive experience and awesome work environment, when the owner approached me to take on more responsibilities, I jumped at the opportunity. And of course the money was even better. My first night the owner called all the girls in for a meeting. In this meeting he covered various topics, including the laws in the state of Texas. Things even I didn't know, up to the point like if one of the women's areolas were exposed and her hair touched a customer it could be solicitation of prostitution. He also covered how money exchanged for a private dance is gratuity and not payment for services rendered, so the girls should get their money up front and never after, as we could not demand money from someone after the dance was completed. With that he announced I was the new GM and took off, leaving me to run the club. That night, my first night, an attractive young woman was dancing on the lap of an intoxicated man. She had this one special move where she would flip her legs onto the customer's shoulders and gyrate her crotch in their face. It was a popular maneuver and one that many girls did despite the laws mentioned above. On this evening she executed her move flawlessly, wiggling her hips to the song. The customer for his part reached his arm around her leg, moving her tee back to the side. She continued to dance. He began to sniff and blow onto her crotch. She continued gyrating. At last, for reasons I can't understand to this day, his brain told him to bite, so he did. He moved forward and bit her clitoris. She reacted as you would imagine someone would, and she jerked back. He did not let go. It was on this night I learned two things. 1. You can bite a clitoris off. 2. You cannot surgically reattach a clitoris. TLDR, took a promotion to general manager of a strip club and learned that you can't reattach a clitoris. Well, that took a turn. I wouldn't be surprised if that guy is on Reddit somewhere. Well, congratulations on that job promotion. Don't know what else to say, lol. Well, ain't that some clit? Jail time?